All right. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Y'all
You're
ready for this?
Stop.
What are you drinking this evening, Daniel?
You guys all right?
Yeah.
I haven't even poured it yet. I was laughing too hard.
This podcast is part of the Frederick Podcast Network. Learn more at listenfrederick.com.
Beers in the Lot is partnered with the Hockey Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Beers in the Lot. Before we get going, let me just remind you about our shop at beersinthelot.com/shop. That's where you can get the t-shirts and other merchandise with Beers in the Lot logos on it. Also, check out beersinthelot.com for anything else you might be curious about this podcast. And be sure to join the Discord at beersinthelot.com/discord. And in episode 185, the four of us recounted a story from Wally Ice Fest. Talked a little bit about old fat bald guys hockey from Sunday night. Threw in a quick PSA about maximizing your experience at Buffalo Wild Wings and Sheetz. And we discussed some rule changes for 3-on-3 overtime. So as you heard in the cold open, the beers have already been cracked. So take it away, Daniel. What are you drinking tonight?
So tonight I have from Treehouse Juice Project Citra plus Citra plus Citra
Plus Citra.
3 times. What do you got tonight there, Aaron?
Tonight I have a Stella Artis. A little inside joke for those who know.
I think we have to tell that story after we're done with beers now.
Tonight,
Did we not tell it?
No, I don't think we did.
I don't think we told it.
No.
We'll recap later.
Yeah.
I would love if we regale that tale.
What you got, Riggs?
So I did not make it to any shops this weekend. We were busy around the house since there was no kids hockey. Finally, season is over, at least for a couple weeks until spring hockey starts. But anyway, a cool Coors Light. The mountains are blue. Excellent,
Hell yeah.
excellent Coors Light, crisp and refreshing. Jonathan, you do not have beer. What do you have?
I have Knob Creek.
Knobs in the lot.
Yeah, no.
we
Well, hey, man. We need to put that behind a paywall, bud. Like, sorry, we're not doing that. We're not going around with our knobs or our birds anywhere. I'll tell you that right now. All right. Anyway, back to the Stella Ortiz issue. Aaron, please enlighten us.
So when we were up at Wally Ice Fest, we stopped at a fine establishment, a fine restaurant.
It's probably the best restaurant in that area.
It probably is, called Overboards. And we were sitting down to dinner. We were getting our orders and, figuring out what we wanted to eat. And waitress came by and asked us what we wanted to drink. I believe it was Ross who was asked what they have on tap. And she said 0.
No.
Said they don't have anything.
She said, "Oh, honey, we don't have draft here."
Yeah, something along those lines. And then Ross continued and said, "Well, what do you have any IPAs?" And the waitress said that they have a Laguntus, IPA. So we all kind of did. We all kind of like eyes were shifting at our table. We all kind of like knew she means Lagunitas. Okay, fine. And so Ross orders the Lagunitas, and then it goes around the table, and I think a couple more folks ordered the Laguntas. And then it came to me, and I wasn't feeling an IPA. Weird. So I asked what else they had. I think I said, "Do you have Stellas?" She said, "Oh, yeah, we have Stella Artis." Okay, I'll have one of those. And thus Stella Artis was born. She left the table and we all were like, "Oh my God, what?"
Now, they also, when we walked in, I don't know how, but they immediately identified us.
Mhm.
And they asked us if we were the rowdy group because there were two groups coming in. So that was, that should have been a tip off. But yeah, very good meal.
Rowdy group.
We had a
it
good
was delicious.
time. Yes. Very good service.
Yeah, great service. Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
the only thing funny about it all was just the pronunciation of the
Yeah.
beer names. But
Also, Johnny, because he got there a little later, he's a very hardworking man. He had business matters to attend to.
Thank you.
None of them were in support of the pod, but he did he did make his way up to Wally a little bit later than we did, and he showed up at the restaurant. And when they asked for his beverage order, I would like Johnny to tell this story.
Oh, so, and this is before I heard of all the other stuff that already happened in terms of the mispronunciation of domestic beers.
Well, Stella.
semi-domestic.
Yeah, it's domestic. We know. So I just go, I was like, I'm going to have one because I was driving, and I was like, I'll have a Negroni, which for all you keeping score out at home there, that's 3 liquors, all equal parts, 1 ounce, or double if you're into that sort of thing. Campari, you can go vermouth, sweet or dry, and then gin. That's it. It's a little bitter cocktail. I enjoy it. And I mentioned, I would like a Negroni, please. And she goes, what's that? And I just kind of go, a Negroni, like thinking maybe I just was like, because of the drive and everything, and maybe I said something funny, or did she hear me? She's like, no, I don't know what that is. I was like, oh, okay, it's just this. So then a little later, it wasn't bad also, good, decent cocktail. So Danny ordered one as well. Came out completely different from mine. There was garnish on it and everything. So I was like,
She
okay.
she made mine with love.
She probably did. She's like a little fucker over there.
little shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. So
Needless
like-
to say, I think that they don't rely on their alcohol sales to support their business. It doesn't seem like they're putting a lot
Well,
of priority. in that
I think they
regard,
were selling plenty of alcohol.
Oh,
But
they
that was
sold
at the
some,
bar
but-
next to the Keno machine.
The slot machines.
Slot.
Yeah, the
Oh, yes.
slot
Slot.
machines.
They had slot machines in there, which was cool.
But very enjoyable dinner, though. Honestly, it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the company. That was the best thing for me. Company.
Don't we all? Always, all the time.
Had a lot of ha-has and hee-hees.
And some hoo-hoos. Yeah, it was great. It was spectacular. So what else is new, Aaron? Tell us what's going on.
Well, we played a little hockey last night. You three played against each other / with each other. It was what? Daniel versus Riggs and Johnny's team, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was a game.
That game was
It was a
sad.
game.
In short,
Hockey
same
was sad
result
by all.
for Danny's team.
Same result. Different week, same result.
Yeah.
Poor Danny's team. The Oilers, the OFBG Oilers,
waiting
just
for the
can't get it
playoffs.
going this season. Yeah, they're going to win. I mean, are you defeated?
No.
You're certainly not.
Actually, everybody's
undefeated.
like,
Do you have a win though?
everybody's
I
fine.
mean,
we do.
like, is
we
your
beat,
team defeated?
We beat Aaron, or we beat John
Oh,
Riggs'
well, then
team.
you're not defeated. I assume the opposite of undefeated is defeated, at least. But
I don't know. One of their centers gave up like
I don't know. About
halfway
that.
through the third period. He didn't even put his stick down for the face-off.
What's up with that?
a little dissension.
Some
amongst
bad
the
body
ranks.
language over there.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that.
Hmm.
Well, you would say that you're
Mm.
trying to, try and create an aura of positivity when we all know that's not the way the ship's going.
My team is very positive.
Iceberg already hit your ship, dog. It's going down.
Yeah. It's not.
I also want to. I was aggrieved last night. I had a heinous act occur.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
Disgusting.
like I don't know what happened, but you were yelling and screaming at Daniel. Why were you yelling and screaming at Daniel?
Really?
I didn't even know. I like something. What happened? I
So,
don't understand.
I came on for a change, or off for a change. Danny gets on the ice. So a few seconds later, Danny throws a pass to one of his buddies, goes down for an icing. So I just yell as he's kind of making his way past the bench, going off the ice, sick pass. Then he's skating back. My stick was on the, hanging over the bench a little bit. And he just, Danny just couldn't help himself as, total degenerate and assailant to just, knock my stick over like some crazed madman, an emotionally unregulated
You
human
saw the
being.
look in my eye.
Yeah, crazed look in his eye. So he knocked it over, and I just go like, "You're so fucking cool. You're a fucking role model, dude. Like, what are you doing?" Started yelling.
Mature.
Yeah, real mature, Daniel.
Real mature.
But then the best is like 2 or 3 people on our bench like thought like he came by and like stabbed me in the head because I was just like hanging over the boards a little bit. I mean, I had a smile on my face and stuff, but like it was funny. I just like. It was dead silent in the rink too, and I'm just yelling at him.
It was a good time.
Good
Yeah, it was
times.
fun, man. It was fun.
I was doing stats for you guys' games, and I saw some crazy goals go in.
Oh my god.
I verify the stats on Live Barn, and it's normally only takes a couple minutes to just make
I
sure.
think
we
a
get it
goal
right, but
went in every possible way in that game.
I saw goals off feet. I saw an assist by Johnny. He passed it to his teammate in front of the net.
Yeah.
Johnny was on the left side of the net, or on the right side of the net if you're facing the goal. He was on the right side of the goal, like maybe, I don't know, 4 feet from the crease. He got a great cross-ice pass and had a lot of time, but didn't really have a good look at the net. So it was pretty obvious he was going to try to pass it to his teammate who was on the other side of the net, go back cross crease and get a goal. But you backhanded it up in the air, and I swear the puck went like 12 feet in the air, but it wasn't like a saucer
somebody
pass.
got their stick on it, and it just shot.
Was that the one
It
with
was
Justin?
weird. It shot.
It
No,
went
this
right
was,
over the defender.
This was Drew. So the puck shot. I was going to pass it to him because he was kind of open. The second I got it, everyone kind of was like, "Ah, shit," and they stuck their sticks there. So I tried to get it over pretty quick. The puck shot off somebody else's stick, went about a good
It rainbowed
10 feet
over
in the air.
defender. Yeah.
over the goalie, down to the defenseman,
or
past
I
him,
remember
and then
that.
right on Drew's stick. Drew just like tapped it in because it was
Yeah.
rolling. It even like kind of like had a little English on it going into the net. Luckily,
He kind of thought about it before he hit it because
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
it landed, he was like,
Yeah.
and then he just fucking tapped
it was
in.
funny.
It was the
I
weirdest
was like,
pass
oh my
ever.
gosh.
It was
Yeah.
a pass for the total distance the pass covered was like 6 or 7 feet, but it went up and rainbowed in the air like 10 or 12 feet over top
Yeah.
of everybody. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then
Really good
Riggs,
flop
you got one
shot.
off the foot, and another teammate got one off the foot.
Yeah.
And
2 goals that I was involved in. One I scored, somebody put it off my foot, and the second one I shot it off someone else's foot and it went in. And he was actually trying to get out of the way. He
Right.
tried to flamingo and it hit his foot and then it went in. So whatever.
some wild goals. And then somebody on one of the guys on Danny's team. How do you describe it, John? He tickled the rafters for 4 seconds,
Oh yeah, dude.
and then
Oh yeah. it was
blasted
perfect.
a slapper
Oh,
for
my
It was
our
God.
perfect.
side.
I was laughing. Yeah.
Oh my
It was sick. I was joking today. I had visions of that goal in my head. I had such a good view from the bench. Ugh. Yeah, it was like he reached up, tickled the rafters for
It
a
was a-
good 5
it was a good
seconds,
shot,
thought
man.
about it. Yeah, it
He,
was almost like Predator. He had like
you guys
his laser
heard about
sights.
him, right? He had a kidney stone the whole weekend, and they just passed it.
Oh my
that morning.
god.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
he was in the he was in the hospital. Yeah,
Dude, that's some
Shit.
man stuff, dude.
yeah.
And then you guys made him
comes in
play
and-
defense?
Yeah. That's wrong,
He's
dude.
normally a forward. We made him play defense after all that?
Yeah, he played all right.
Tisk tisk.
That's
Wow.
wild.
It is old, that ball, guys. I don't think most of the NHL players are worried about passing kidney stones.
Mm.
The Oilers and Kings literally play right now.
It happened to anybody.
What were you saying that the Oilers and Kings game looks like it's the same score?
Well, the Kings
What's-
they scored really fast. Like the
Oh,
game
they scored
started
early.
and they
Oh
scored.
yeah,
Yeah.
we started slow last night.
Yeah.
We started playing better in the second.
I didn't think there was any goals in the second. I think it was all in the first and third. At least I didn't record any on the stat sheet. But I could be wrong. I might have missed one.
I only saw 2 goals. No, Aaron. Well, how was your game?
Our game was largely uneventful. It was like a 9-4 scoreline, but it was actually kind of
Sounds
close.
like a lot of events.
It was like 7-4, I think. It was 7-4 in some point in the third. It was doable. It was within reach. It wasn't like we were kind of in control most of the game, I think, but I don't think it was ever completely out of reach until the last, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes or so. 5-7 minutes. It was a good game. It was fun. I think the other team were missing some dudes. They only had like maybe 8 or 9, I think. They were pretty tired by the end of the game.
We had 10 on the dot. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's a good number. We had 11, so I was the third right winger, which is annoying, but whatever.
Brutal.
I got my cookies.
It's only annoying if they don't switch fast. Like if you can get the right guys going.
2 winger line mates,
Yeah.
or winger mates, we were moving fast. It was like minute and a half shifts. Pretty good. But yep. Successful Sunday night of hockey. Time out for just a second while we hear about our sponsors. We'll be right back. We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. Is it new year, new you for 2024? Pure Hockey has the best hockey equipment, accessories, and apparel on the market to take your game to the next level this year. Maybe you made resolutions to improve your puck handling or passing. Maybe it's time to ditch that old stick and start the year with a fresh twig. Maybe it's time to refresh your NHL wardrobe for the race to the playoffs. Pure Hockey has it all. Whether it's training aids, the latest sticks and skates, or your favorite team's gear, get your hockey shopping done at Pure Hockey and use our affiliate link at beersintheLot.com/Pure Hockey. What else is going on? Anybody got anything want to bring up that you want to talk about?
Well, John's working apparently.
Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Briggs was describing him doing work on before coming up to the Wally Ice Fest, and all I could imagine was that image of the guy with like the briefcase cell phone that has like the curly cord and the normal phone handset. Like from
You're
the
talking about like
90s.
Pat Bateman, Travis.
Yeah. And the caption is "ha ha ha business."
Yeah,
business.
with the Ray-Bans on. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh,
imagine
so
John
good.
in his truck with a
my
car phone that has a cord.
Oh God, do you remember those?
Yeah, I do.
I still remember the
man.
sound.
Yeah.
Burp.
Yeah.
I should carry that around. I should just start carrying that around. That would be awesome.
They do make Bluetooth adapters that will plug into like an analog handset with the curly cords.
Yeah.
So you can attach this
Oh
thing to
my
your
God,
phone
yeah.
and have it like in your pocket. You pull out a curly cord.
Oh my God,
analog
that'd be
handset.
great.
Nah, it'd be cooler if like because I have a modern SUV, like get the curly corded brown beige, like that old phone, but like get it mounted in the vehicle. So like every time it comes on the Bluetooth, I just pick up the thing and I'm driving down the road. Like I'll be so bored, just like, yeah, what's up?
Oh,
Like
man.
and actually have like the dial. You gotta the rotary dial, you know,
Yes.
like do that, like. Oh, that'd be so funny. Just like hit that every time. Every single time you're running around. Well, Aaron, actually you were talking some bullshit last night about overtime because the NHL had a few overtime games.
Bullshit.
So like tell me about this bullshit you're on.
I did talk some bullshit, didn't I? I'm known to talk some bullshit. All right, so I think I was at lunch with the guys from work. We happened to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I think this was last
Why?
Tuesday or something like that.
How long of a lunch did you want to take? 4 hours?
Okay, so
holy shit!
I got to tell you something here. I have come to find out that there is a proper way to do things at Buffalo Wild Wings. So,
Oh, do tell.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing to the guys. I was like, "Yeah, guys, if we want to go to B-Dubs, okay, but you guys want to get something done the rest of this afternoon, then we probably want to go somewhere else." Like, I was anticipating a very long lunch. And in fact, as I was getting there, I got an email and I was like, all right, I need to get back to the office kind of soon. So,
and you still went to B-Dubs.
I was sitting down at the table and had sat down and got the email. I was like, all right, I need to get back to the office fairly soon. Anyway, so I've come to find out that on each table at B-Dubs, there's a QR code. You scan the QR code and you log in with your cell phone number and you can order there from that app, webpage, whatever, and you can pay there. So you basically make your own separate tab and put your order in through the phone. So I did this. Everybody's kind of like, oh, yeah, let's try it out. This sounds cool or whatever. So we all put our orders in, and I guess I was just fast fingers. I put my order in, and it came out before some of the other guys were done ordering.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then I ate it, and I paid for it, and I said, okay, guys, I got to go back to the office. I'll see you later. And I just left.
So
I was in and out in maybe 20 minutes, honestly. It was actually very fast. So that aside.
Yes. When I want to follow up on this because when my son and I we were at an away game down in Southern Maryland, and after the game, he loves B-Dubs. Like he's always loved B-Dubs after hockey since he was 6, 7, 8 years old. He would rather go there than Chuck E. Cheese, right? Since he was a little kid, right? So like, so I know, right? So we went there, and the restaurant down there, the B-Dubs down there, was only use the thing at the table. When we walked in, the lady came over and said, order all your stuff on there. I'll take your initial drink order just because I'm here, but order all your stuff on there, and then I'll bring it out when it's ready. So so okay, this is good to know.
Yeah, it worked very well, honestly.
Yes, it does.
Much faster than
normal.
Waiting for wait service. Yeah.
I like the fact that's 2 weeks in a row we provided weekly PSAs. I think we need to make this a thing.
Yeah, PSA.
This is a good idea.
If you want to go to B-Dub, I didn't test it with drinks. I did not test it.
I also want to
bar
say
tab,
that Aaron showed me a thing when we went up. We were coming back.
He showed you a thing?
The pond.
Please do tell.
Yes.
Do tell.
So he just walks in to Sheetz, opens the cooler, grabs a drink, scans it, pays for it, just walks out with it.
Pay and go.
Oh yeah,
go.
pay and go's the best.
I'm like, what just happened?
Pay and go's the best.
Pay and go. Obviously self-checkout.
Anything like that.
Also order ahead. It's just like Chipotle. Order ahead. You show up, the thing's right there. You say, thanks, guys. You walk out. It's super easy. Yes.
Also, pump and pay is nice.
Yes.
If you're going to get gas, then as soon as you identify which pump you're going to be in, you put it in your phone and figures out what Sheetz you're at. And you say, I'm at this pump. It'll give you a 3-digit code. You get out of your car, you go around to the pump and put that code in, and it turns it on. You've already paid for it. You don't actually have to swipe your card in a possibly, skimmered thing or something like that. Like I've never had an issue with skimmers at Sheetz, but if I can avoid
because it's a respectable establishment.
Something. It's a respectable establishment, but
it's not like Wawa.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime I can avoid that, though, I try to. And it's
those fraudulent bastards. They're putting counterfeit 20s and stuff left and right.
Plus, it also gets your points and all that other stuff. So anyway, yeah. I was at B-Dubs having lunch, and
Being efficient with your time. I like that.
as B-Dubs is, a sports kind of oriented place, they had a replay of a Dallas Stars game from, I suppose, last Monday. I don't actually remember who they were playing, but they were in overtime. I caught the game super late. They were in OT, and it was 3v3 overtime, and Dallas
Stars
seemed to
Bruins.
just be... Was it Stars Bruins? Oh, yeah, it was
Stars
Stars Bruins. Okay, yeah.
Bruins.
So Dallas seemed to just have control of the puck the whole overtime. Like, Bruins just did not get a lot of puck possession time in OT. The thing that I noticed, though, is that they were playing pretty solid defense in their end. The Bruins were. And this caused the Dallas players to jump out of the attacking zone back to the neutral zone, full possession of the puck, and just skating out of the zone back to the neutral zone to regroup. Got me thinking. I was like, does it actually even matter that there's offsides in this stage of the game? Like, what does offsides actually do in 3v3 overtime? And how does it affect the way players play? And if it wasn't to be a thing, how might that affect players and the way the teams would play in overtime? Because I guarantee you, nobody's posting up a dude in front of the other team's net. That's not going to happen, because you don't want to give a team a 3-on-2 when, like, you need to play defense. You can't just post up out there. So offsides, though, when you're pulling your two guys, you've got the puck in your zone. Say all 6 players are in one zone, and you've got the puck, but defense is pressuring you a bit, and you just pull it back out to the neutral zone to regroup. When your guys come back out, if they're out of the zone by the time you've curled, like, they know they see what you're about to do, and is it really effective? Like, is it doing anything for the play? If offsides wasn't a thing in 3v3 overtime, I feel like the players would have a little bit more room to work, which is a thing that we want to see in 3v3. And I don't know. I feel like if you took away offsides in 3v3 overtime, it might have a positive result. It just was a crazy thought I had in the moment as I was watching that OT. What do you guys think?
So you already know that I'm a proponent of getting rid of all of the line calls. But
Right?
anyway, one thing that I've heard from many of the pundits, if you will, the insiders, is there's a lot of talk about once a team has possession of the puck and they're attacking and they cross the center ice red line, they are not allowed to go back across the center ice red line to regroup. That once they cross, they have to stay attacking forward
I like that.
of the center ice red line.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do come back or the puck crosses the center ice red line, its immediate possession is given to the other team. So that's
Immediate possession. How would you do that?
they just give them the puck. It's like mites. They just give them the puck in their end and they fucking go. Like, that's literally how it was
Take the puck.
described. Like, so, like, here's the puck behind your net. Okay, go. Right. Like, so that's an interesting idea. Again, I think there's a case to be made to get rid of offsides anyway. I think there's a case to be made to get rid of icing, like get rid of all these things that just slow the flow down. Like, let's just play. If you really like, I think the most logical fix, though, the thing that makes the most sense, just put 2 more players on the ice, go 5-on-5. If you're going to keep the same rules, just go 5-on-5.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with that.
right? Like,
And
super
play till you
easy.
score. Do it fucking golden goal like in the playoffs, and don't have the shootout.
No,
Like,
the problem with
the
that
players
is
have been talking.
they're not
Players don't
gonna
like the shootout anyway.
they're not gonna well they're not gonna do that in an 82 game season. Like, the
No,
players
they won't.
associate the whole thing was the PA, like, it was wear and tear, right? Like, they don't want to do that.
Sure.
So, it's 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. It's entertaining, except now it's not, because it's been strategized to hell, which is what happens in pro
Yeah.
sports, right? So now there needs to be a change. So I like no offsides just because I like no offsides in general. I want to see how the red line rule could work. But in the end, I think what happens is you throw 2 more players on the ice each side, and maybe you play a 10-minute period and see how it goes. Or, you know what? Overtime and shootouts are dumb. Go to 3-point system, and you get rid of all this. Like, this isn't even a discussion.
3-point system. Yes.
But whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
I agree with 3-point system entirely. Yeah, 100%.
Daniel, what are your thoughts on that before I tackle it?
I kind of like what Rick said about if they cross, what was it, the red line that they
Like
are
backcourt in
considered.
basketball.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't like the whole regrouping thing. I think I was watching a Pens game a couple months ago that they regrouped for about 3 minutes. And it got
Sounds
a little
about right.
old. I was like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
So I do like that aspect. I don't think overtime needs to be changed at all at this point. I do think that there should be some rules as far as the offsides goes and the lines, but the only thing that I would like to see them do with overtime is actually extend it to 10 minutes.
More 3v3.
Yeah, because I'm done with the shootout. Like I think a lot of the players are. I think the 3v3 is a lot more exciting, and I think when they initially implemented it, it was very exciting, right? And like Rick said, they just over strategized it, and it's definitely not as run and gun as it was when it was first implemented. I think if you could implement some new rules or tactics to kind of make it more interesting and more fast paced and kind of like what everybody wants to see, right? Up and back, up and back, up and back. I think that's the way to go. But yeah, I think the only thing I would do with overtime would be extend it.
I got something I want to jump in real quick, John, before you go.
No, go for it. Yeah.
I had a crazy idea. What if, and I don't even know if this would work or not. What if players were limited in how much ice time they could have during the 3v3 overtime? So the teams can't just
Hell no.
strategize.
Hell no to that.
No. Well, listen, hear me out. So
yeah.
what if you could only ice a line for 1 minute and 20 seconds? So you have a forward line. So you have a forward line that can go out, your main 3 guys. They can go out for 1 minute and 20. And then you got to put a different set of guys out for 1 minute and 20 or something along these lines. So you're required to make a change and not play the same stars the whole time.
So they're going to blow the horn like they do in Mites games?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Hey, you just proposed the Mites game.
Every 2 minutes? Every 2 minutes, blow the horn? Yeah.
Hey, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I mean, imagine though, you have to like that. You talk about the strategizing. What about like if you have like it's sort of like the shootout lineup. So it's like who do you send out first? Who do you send out second, etc. So it's like, do we send out our stars first, or do we send them out clean up after we send our fourth liners out or something like that? You know, like how would you like? It would be interesting.
What if they have to send out their fourth line first? Like you have to start your fourth line.
Yeah, like kind of reverse OFPG shootout.
And it has to be a full shift. You can't just like start them and then go to the bench.
Well, that's the other thing too,
funny.
is what if you didn't have to, you could, I don't know, be assessed a penalty or something like that if a player was on the ice for more than their minute and 20, but they could space that out whenever they want. So put Matthews and Marner out initially and then take them off in 20 seconds. Like, you know, the strategy. I'm just talking about the strategy.
The flow of the game.
If you have to fix it like every time based on who's out there, then
the flow of the game
would add interesting.
The flow of the game doesn't work with it though, because
it doesn't.
You literally have to have a hard cutoff. Like, oh, this is the time. Everybody has to change now. So you have to blow. You have to blow the play dead. Change the players. start
Yeah, fuck
again.
that.
Like
I don't
it's-
want that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it wouldn't work. Like
It was a random thought. Anyway. What do you have, John?
Pause for 2 seconds because I want to see that Patrick Kane goal from yesterday really quick
Oh,
because that ties into what
OT
I'm going to
goal?
say.
It does, yeah, because he was like way up high.
oh yeah,
he was way up high.
was
He was like
cheating.
up in
He
the
was cheating.
red
He was
line.
100%. Okay, so he was cheating. That's what I thought.
He was
Cheating,
cheating
yeah.
the play. No, he's
Yeah.
cheating the
All right,
play. Yeah.
That's what I thought. All right, so he was 100% cheating the play. So there's a lot of like data because I track the OT goals because I'm a dork. Like there's more goals the last 2 years being scored off of like broken plays or almost like the reverse breakout pass where a team misses the shot and it wraps around the boards and guys come.
Yeah.
And like that, the Patty Kane goal, Pat Kane, like offensively gifted, we know that. He was kind of reading the play. Like this guy's going into a very crowded area where they're going to be outnumbered very quickly. Now, luckily for him, the puck didn't get through. He used his squirt, and then it became a 50-50 battle. So like they were able to get the puck up to him of the ice. I mean, he caught the puck at center ice. But if you watch the whole play, he started looping out of the zone right when the guy kind of broke the seam at the blue line almost. Now, for every one of those goals, there's probably 2 or 3 that go the other way where the guy doesn't get the puck out.
Sure.
More shots happen and all that. And there's more stuff you could see it if you like break down the overtime. A lot of times when those guys regroup, they're only trying to like get a 2-on-1 in a certain situation against like a certain skater on one side of the ice and then kind of like almost do a mini transition to like I said, create more of a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-0 situation in this space to get, on the chessboard essentially. But it is weird. Like I don't like how they regroup 100 times. I kind of like the idea of like once you cross center ice, you cannot. The other thing I was thinking about, maybe do a shot clock. And that's the only other thing where it's like, but then the only problem with shot clock, it buzzes, then you got to change possession. And one special thing about hockey is the flow is constant.
right.
So like that's
Yeah.
so I don't like stopping it. So the only thing I can think of is like once you go past center, you cannot bring it back. Can't pass, can't do whatever. But then also, or make it the second you go in the blue line, you can't bring it out. Like I think that's better. You got to stay in because that would create some tired, potentially forwards in their own offensive zone. You get a quick D change or something, and now all of a sudden you can outnumber somebody in the corner, and you could break out clean, with a full set of legs. I think that would be better because then you're immediately, if you cross into the offensive line, you're making like a point of no return for the offensive team. You have to do something in that zone, force the play, or like I said, like you get a healthy D core or 2 forwards and 1 D depending on how your team rotates it. Like that could almost be a better situation because you're going to hem somebody's essentially going to try and move and it changes a little bit. But the only problem with like putting 10 minutes on the board for 3-on-3 is like one reason they do the 5 minutes and the shootout is because the NHL scheduling system knows like, hey, by this time every night we know these teams are out of the arena, so we could schedule flights to go to your back-to-back or other thing.
True.
Playoff, it's different because they don't even care if it's like, game 2, game 3s and wherever. They don't care because they can just build it in or flex the days. They've done that before.
Yeah.
For some of the crazy stuff with like a noon start time, something weird on a weekend, but it just depends. It's unfortunately not a perfect situation, but I think the best thing they do, one of you guys said it, the 3-point system. Do 3 points. It would be so much more clean. 3 for a regulation, 2 for a, overtime win. And I also think they should get rid of the loser point straight up in overtime. Like that's the other thing. Get rid of the loser point.
Yeah. No, that's the way. That's 3-point system though. Is 3 for win, 2 for OT, 1 for tie. Get rid of shootout altogether
and just do straight up tie. Yeah.
Yeah. And extend OT then, because if you get rid of shootout, you can extend OT.
Correct, because that's another 5 minutes. So what's that? Yeah. Just tack it on to 10 or do 7. Just do 7. Like,
make it a weird. Whatever.
Make it a weird number. I don't care. Yeah. But like extend it and then 3-point system, like you said, because that also too, like this time of the year, like you're gonna see teams that are like kind of either on the bubble or kind of holding on, especially when they're jockeying. It'll be 2-2. They're like, I wouldn't say they're 100% playing safe, but some teams are 100% like, we got to get a 3-point game out of this. We have to make it a 3-point game.
Right.
And that sucks. I don't like that. I really, I strongly dislike it.
But if there's incentive to actually get the extra point in the OT, right? Like, go for it. Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
you know.
You got to think too that some teams, even like top ends of a division, they might even be thinking in terms of, we want to give these guys that we're playing, who are maybe on the cusp, we want to give them a point so that it'll force our opponents that we don't want to see to have to elevate their game in order to win more or whatever. There's all kinds of crazy gamesmanship that I'm sure a bean counter is.
They also too like kind of play it like almost like a metric. They're like, we're fine with a 3-point game on this one because this isn't a team we're, worried about, because they're in another division and their wild card is not, we're not worried about our wild card because these, I'm sure all teams with their management and coaching staff have kind of like an idea, like, hey, maybe these 4 or 5 teams, we don't want to turn it a 3-point game, but like the other conference, for example, they're like, if it gets down to, we don't care if it's a 3-point game, because they're kind of thinking of it like,
those are Western points. We don't give a shit about Western
points.
Or
vice versa. Yeah, vice versa. They're like, yeah, I don't, that doesn't matter to me. But then you have, when it's LA and Pittsburgh on Jaromir Jagr jersey retirement night, LA is going to put the throttle down because they don't care. They're like, no, we're sick of this shit. So
we're run spoiler.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're suggesting that for OFPG, certain teams should not make the playoffs. That's what I think I got out of that.
I mean, maybe.
I like that theory. That means when our game ends, we better have beer readily available. None of this waiting for car keys stuff. So, while dudes are taking bubble baths in the locker room, because they're waiting forever, Not on our watch.
All right, that's it for this one. Thank you for your listen and for your support. We appreciate all of your likes and ratings and reviews and subscriptions on the various podcatchers. Keep them coming. We appreciate every single one of them. I know I speak for the rest of the guys when I say have a good one, and we'll catch you next week when our new episode drops on Wednesday. See ya.